this game really comes down to Dak Prescott, right? And I'm not the type of person to come on and say, hey, I'm not calling for anybody's jobs. And even if I was, it's not like the Cowboys, they're not going to fire anybody. Like they
Cowboys,
will keep
Cowboys themselves we're almost calling for his job, but
yeah. Well, I guess a little bit, but the Cowboys, we had Jason Garrett for 8 years. We do not care. Like the team, the culture, the owner, they don't care, right? So you might say, well, Dak Prescott, he throws 2 terrible picks. Absolutely not a single way to defend these interceptions in the first half, right? And just completely boneheaded, throws into double coverage, throws a curl route that's like not open, and then throws it. I don't know if he's trying to throw it away, but throws it not even near the wide receiver.
I don't know what that looked funny on tape.
Terrible, awful, right? So there's that. Then there's like Schultz in like the 2-minute drill. He doesn't go forward going out of bounds. Doesn't get his second foot down. I mean, this is the type of stuff that we're used to with the Cowboys, just nonchalant, phoning it in. They had 7 penalties this game. Far different from the game last week where they only had 2 penalties, right? So 7 penalties, not that bad, but it definitely hurts, right?
It's more in character, yeah.
Right, and more in character to the Cowboys, right? So
that's what that is.
It hurts so much more knowing that they only scored 19, right? We needed to get one more TD to tie, or like if Maher could kick an extra point, then we would have won with a TD, right? 20 points. We needed 2 TDs, 2 field goals, and we would be going to the NFC Championship for the first time in my entire life, right? And instead, Dak Prescott basically lays an egg. But I mean, this is what we get, right? I mean, we know he isn't going to win you a lot of games, and that was clear. You had an opportunity with 2.5 minutes left. You got the ball down 7, 3 and out, punt. Okay, then basically you get a stop, and it gets punted back to you, and you have 40 seconds. And I mean, it's crazy to think how like Mahomes could execute a 13-second drive to get in the field goal range, and the Cowboys can barely, it can't even get into Hail Mary range with 40 seconds. Awful. But you know what? I mean, it hurt. It really did hurt. But I mean, like I said, the 49ers, they're good. They're good. But it seems like Purdy could be brought down to earth a little bit. In this game, he was. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think all that's great. Yeah. I mean, I think mentioning. I'll start in that kind of that last kind of whole 2-minute drive situation. I know at one point I wrote down quote from Greg Olson on the cast. That's bad clock management. At some point he says that. I wrote that. Actually, that may have been on the 2-minute. Like maybe that was on the drive before. But either way, I read that him saying that. But yeah, with Schultz. I wrote that out. I was like, oh yeah, you have to be going forwards when you're going out of bounds. That big, he had to fight for that again. And then Schultz messing up again, not bringing his foot down to what he easily could have done. Right. That was a situation. We've seen some crazy circus catches, the way people keep their feet in. Yeah, he's a tight end, not a receiver, but still.
No, he's wide open.
Easily. Should have been able to come down with that. Didn't. That being bad, thoughts before I go into actual analysis again. Thoughts on the final play. Thoughts, right? Zeke, for those who don't know, they lined up one lineman, and that lineman's name is Ezekiel Elliott. He's at center. He hikes the ball to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott throws it to their punt returner, who's about 10 yards downfield. This punt returner then gets blown up instantly. So we see him blown up instantly. Zeke is also just completely decked because he's not a center. They have a bunch of linemen on either side of the field doing nothing. I understand. I think I get how the play was supposed to work, but it did not at all go to plan. It was frankly, it was like running a QB draw with no timeouts. Right. It's very reminiscent.
It's not as bad as that, right? Now the play looks stupider because it is stupider, right? But come on, I mean they're down 7.
I know
they can't they can't even throw a Hail Mary, so they have to do some sort of weird lateral play. And so, yeah, it's dumb, but it's also like, I mean, I wish I could have seen it and something happened. Like what the actual plan was.
Yeah.
But they didn't execute that either. They couldn't execute anything offensively. I don't know why they would think, oh yeah, let's freaking take out the triple lateral back to back O lineman out at receiver. Yeah, no, it was a mess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at that point, I would have actually liked halfback draw more. Have Zeke in the backfield. They may only have a couple linemen back. Oh, Pollard was out. If Pollard was in, I think they should have done a halfback draw. Maybe with Zeke, maybe not. But because then halfback, they're playing quarters, right? If you're in halfback draw 4 wide, they're still probably going to play quarters at that point, prevent defense. So you still have time to get your linemen ready. Put Schultz as a receiver outside, so you have a tight end. It's like, anyway, I'm getting lost in that. Back to some actual analysis. It's interesting what you said. Yeah, Purdy, the 49ers offense was definitely, stifled a lot by that Cowboys defense. A great Cowboys defense, but yeah. Sorry there. Purdy was under pressure on 48.5% of dropbacks. I think that was the highest by a 49ers quarterback since sometime in 2020. I think it was January 2020, if I remember correctly. That they're just like, that was a crazy pressure rate. It's great that he didn't throw an interception, but yeah, the offense was definitely not as electric. But I mean, yeah, 49ers, I think they're just a more talented team, the better coach team. But all that being said, yeah, if Dak doesn't throw 2 picks, even take back one of those, take back the one that gave him the field goal, because they couldn't do anything more than that. Take that back. I mean, 49ers have 3 less points. And then you didn't just throw a pick on your own side of the field. Like, it would some cleaner play. Frankly, if Pollard doesn't get hurt, that could be a big piece. One interesting thing with this game, last piece of analysis I have, and then I'll toss back to you, but is the 49ers run game really improved in the second half and kind of as the game progressed. As the game progressed, they started the game, Christian McCaffrey was like nine rushes for 16 yards or 7 rushes for 6. Not good, whatever it was. They were not getting anything on the ground. But then Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, later in the game, second half, fourth quarter, they started getting everything they wanted on the ground. They started 5 yards, 6 yards, runs, just play after play, which I think was really the kind of death null, whatever it is. It was it was definitely the nail in the coffin there when the 49ers would start running the ball well, because that's what we would have expected them to do. That's what I think we predicted that last week, that they'd be able to run the ball so well. They finally did towards the end of the game.